Have you ever woken up and noticed that things aren't standing at attention the way they used to? Maybe you remember a time when it was almost automatic, a part of your morning routine, just like brushing your teeth or having your first cup of coffee, but now it seems less reliable, or perhaps it has disappeared altogether. It can leave you wondering whether this is just a normal part of getting older, or if it's something you should be worried about. The truth is, morning erections are far more than a quirky biological event or a leftover from your younger years. They are, in fact, one of the body's built-in barometers of health, a signal that your nervous system, your blood vessels, and your hormones are all working together as they should. If you've noticed that morning wood has become less frequent, weaker, or stopped showing up completely, you're right to be curious, because your body is often smarter than you give it credit for and has ways of telling you when something is changing on the inside. In this video, we're going to peel back the layers of science behind morning erections, why they happen in the first place, why they sometimes fade away, and most importantly, what you can actually do to bring them back. So let's start with the basics, because understanding the mechanics is the first step to taking control. That erection you sometimes wake up with has an actual medical term, nocturnal penile tumescence, or NP. Far from being rare or unusual, it's a completely normal and expected physiological process. In fact, research shows that most healthy men will experience 3 to 5 separate erections throughout the night, each one lasting between 20. You rarely notice them because you're asleep, but the one that tends to grab your attention is usually just the final one, the one that lingers into the morning hours as you're waking up. So why does this happen? The key lies in the architecture of your sleep. Sleep isn't one long, flat experience. It has stages, cycles, and rhythms. And one of the most fascinating stages is REM sleep, which stands for rapid eye movement. This is the period of sleep most closely linked with dreaming. And during REM, the body undergoes unique shifts in chemistry and brain activity. One of the main changes is that the area of your brain responsible for releasing noradrenaline, a chemical messenger that normally acts like a brake on erections, temporarily powers down. With that inhibitory brake released, testosterone and other erectile signals are free to act without restraint, allowing the penis to fill with blood and produce an erection. This isn't just random, it's more like a scheduled tune-up. These nightly erections serve an important biological function, delivering oxygen-rich blood into the tissues of the penis to keep them supple, flexible, and responsive. In the same way that muscles need regular activity to stay strong and joints need movement to stay lubricated, your penis needs these periodic erections to maintain optimal health. Think of it as a kind of automatic workout, happening while you sleep, ensuring that the vascular and tissue systems are maintained for when you need them most. Hormones add another layer to this process. Testosterone, the hormone most associated with male vitality, sexual function, and energy, follows a daily rhythm. Its levels rise and fall depending on the time of day, reaching their absolute peak in the early morning hours. This surge perfectly coincides with the final REM stages of sleep, making it more likely that you'll wake up during or immediately after one of these erections. So when morning wood shows up consistently, it's a strong sign that your sleep cycles are intact, your testosterone is healthy, and your vascular system is functioning properly. That's why doctors often view it as a quick and simple indicator of overall male health. Now that we understand what morning erections are and why they matter, let's go a little deeper into the reasons they can begin to fade away, because once you know the why, you can start addressing the how of fixing it. Aging, of course, plays a role, but it's not the whole story. Testosterone is often the first thing men think about, and rightly so, because this hormone is like the fuel behind your sexual engine. As men pass 40, their testosterone production tends to dip by about 1% each year, and by the time you're in your 50s or 60s, those levels may be substantially lower than in your younger years. This doesn't just affect muscle mass, energy, or mood. It has a direct effect on whether those automatic nighttime erections occur as robustly as before. But testosterone is only one piece of the puzzle. The quality of your sleep is another huge factor, and unfortunately it's one area modern life has really taken a toll on. Late night screen time, constant stress, irregular work hours, or even conditions like sleep apnea rob you of the deep REM sleep that your body needs to trigger those erections. Remember, if you're not reaching REM often enough, you're essentially cutting short your body's built-in penile workout routine. Stress deserves its own spotlight here. Many men underestimate how much chronic stress undermines sexual health. When cortisol is high for long periods, it lowers testosterone, disrupts sleep, tightens blood vessels, and keeps your body in a constant fight-or-flight state that is the opposite of what's needed for arousal. Think of cortisol as the chemical equivalent of slamming the brakes on your sexual engine, and over time that stress leaves its fingerprints on everything from your erections to your energy levels. Lifestyle choices make a massive difference as well. A poor diet that clogs arteries doesn't just put you at risk for heart disease, it also quietly restricts blood flow to the penis. Those arteries are so small that any narrowing or stiffness shows up there before it shows up in larger vessels like the ones leading to your heart. That's why erectile changes are sometimes called the check engine light of men's health. Smoking in particular is one of the most damaging habits for erectile function because it literally poisons and constricts blood vessels, while heavy alcohol use can disrupt the delicate balance between brain signals and penile response, making it harder for erections to form during the night or in the bedroom. Beyond habits, certain health conditions can directly block the body's ability to generate morning erections. Diabetes, for example, damages both the small blood vessels and the nerve endings essential for erectile reflexes. High blood pressure and high cholesterol also strain your vascular system, again cutting off healthy circulation where it's needed most. That's why doctors sometimes say that the penis can serve as an early warning system for cardiovascular disease. If morning erections vanish, it may be a subtle but critical clue that heart disease is developing years before chest pain ever arrives. Now, all of this might sound heavy, and if you've noticed changes in your own life, it can be easy to feel discouraged, but here's the encouraging truth: you are not powerless. In fact, once you recognize these factors, you can begin making changes that restore function and protect your health for years to come. And for men who want to see results more quickly while working on those lifestyle shifts, I want to mention something that's been making waves. There's a short, natural 7-second home remedy that tens of thousands of men are now using to reclaim their morning confidence. It's based on solid science. It targets the root cause of performance problems in a way you probably haven't heard explained before, and best of all, it doesn't involve pills or risky procedure. To check it out, just scan the QR code you see on your screen. It will take you directly to an eye-opening video with all the details. I've also put the direct link right at the top of the pinned comments to make it easy. Many men are shocked at how simple the solution is once they understand what's really going on inside the body. Alright, now let's shift gears into the practical everyday steps you can start using right now to bring morning erections back naturally and strengthen your overall vitality. Because while quick fixes can help, nothing beats the long-term power of a healthy foundation. So what can you actually do starting today to give your body the best possible chance of restoring those natural morning erections? The first and perhaps most underrated step is improving your sleep. This isn't about simply getting more hours in bed, but about creating the kind of environment and rhythm that allows you to reach deep REM cycles consistently. That means shutting off screens at least an hour before bed, keeping your bedroom cool and dark, and sticking to a schedule where you go to bed and wake up at roughly the same time each day. If sleep apnea or snoring is a concern, getting evaluated can make a huge difference because oxygen deprivation at night doesn't just leave you groggy, it also robs your body of the ability to generate nocturnal erections. Next comes stress management. Your body was never designed to run on high levels of cortisol day after day, and one of the best ways to lower that stress chemistry is through intentional relaxation. Practices like deep breathing, meditation, yoga, or even something as simple as a daily walk in nature can lower cortisol and open the door for healthier testosterone and better blood flow. When you learn how to shift your body from fight or flight into rest and repair, your erections follow. Then there's diet. What you put on your plate directly impacts what happens in your bedroom. A diet rich in leafy greens, colorful vegetables, lean proteins, nuts, seeds, and healthy fats keeps your arteries flexible and your circulation strong. Foods rich in antioxidants, like berries, and those high in nitric oxide boosters like beets, can actually improve vascular function in a matter of weeks. Conversely, cutting back on processed sugars, fried foods, and excess alcohol removes the silent clogging and stiffening that restricts penile blood flow. Think of every meal as either fueling vitality or stealing it. Exercise is another pillar. You don't need to become a bodybuilder to see results, but consistent movement, especially cardiovascular exercise like brisk walking, cycling, or swimming, strengthens the very system that erections depend on, your blood vessels. Resistance training, even with light weights, gives testosterone a natural boost, and over time this combination creates the perfect internal environment for morning erections to return. If you smoke, quitting is one of the single best things you can do because the chemicals in cigarettes directly damage the lining of your arteries, shrinking your erections over time. Cutting back on alcohol also pays dividends, since heavy drinking interferes with the nervous system and sleep quality. And don't forget the value of medical checkup. If diabetes, high blood pressure, or high cholesterol are in play, treating them not only extends your life, but also restores the sexual vitality you may have thought was gone forever. What's beautiful about all of these changes is that they don't just target one area. The same habits that bring back morning erections also improve your energy, your mood, your confidence, and your long-term health. So if you've noticed your morning wood disappearing, take it as an invitation rather than a defeat. Your body is signaling that it needs attention, and by listening, you have the power to turn things around. Morning erections are not just about sex, they're about circulation, hormones, sleep, and vitality working in harmony. When they return, they serve as a daily reminder that your body is healing, adapting, and thriving. Remember, you're not alone in this journey. Countless men in their 50s, 60s, and beyond have made small, steady changes and watched their confidence and function return stronger than they imagined. It's never too late, and it's never out of reach. So take that first step tonight, whether it's improving your sleep, going for a walk, choosing a healthier meal, or even scanning the QR code we talked about earlier. The path to restoring your morning erections is the same path to restoring your vitality as a man, and every step you take is a step back toward the healthiest, most confident version of yourself.